Welcome back to our alternate universe, Jurassic Park. We are building the Ceratopsian enclosure, the Triceratops territory, which will be where our, well, Triceratopses are. There's this nice moat wall decoration I found on the workshop with these nice red lights. We're using this as kind of a retaining wall to go up against the edge of the track here, essentially, and then the herbivore enclosure here is going to be slightly recessed. Basically, what this decoration is a little section of fence here with like one light. And then we've just duplicated it and then like expanded the blueprint and duplicated it and so on and so forth to get it all the way down here to the end of the exhibit. Now, of course, aligning this properly is an exercise in patience, especially when you get something big and it's hard to tell where the alignment is versus where your controls are. See, like, I think there's like a tiny gap there maybe, but it's damn close. I think it's good. I can't see any gap. Yeah, it's hard to tell if there's a gap because you get the white outline, which kind of deceives you. Now, I did notice here that, yeah, at some point the wall got a little bit weird in its positioning. And the height is maybe a little weird here too with this doing a weird zigzag thing there. Interesting. So if I do lower terrain to flat, raise terrain to flat. So if I do lower to flat, that shouldn't change anything else there, right? Yeah, it doesn't actually do anything. And if I do flatten, then this is definitely too high. That, of course, ruins the rest of the terrain. Well, I'll have to fiddle with this a little bit more to get this exactly how I want it to be, but I figured I'd just include this, how we're doing this in the video, just to, demonstrate it. Yeah, and then we were working on Psittacosaurus, which is coming along here. And since I had to delete this track to get this wall to be as steep as it is, the cars have currently reset. So, let's go check out the hatchery. No, we were processing Psittaco. We had Diplo eggs. That's what it was. Did we finish processing the full genome? We did. This is what we had for our female, a brown, patternless, going for the more paleo-accurate look. 100% lifespan, 75% humility. Was there a reason I didn't go with 100% humility? I don't know. I mean, I might as well crank that. If I had a plan, I don't remember what it was. You need a break. Fair. I'm going to do this because we can do this quick. And then we can hatch them quick, and then we can do the Diplos. Because our first wave of Psittacos are going to be test stock for cohab with the Coelophysis. We're going to see if the Coelos do just kill them, which I kind of expect them to. Alright, Psittaco eggs, 6. We'll just grab all of these. Now I'm going to dump, I think, all of these in with the Coelophysis. And if the Coelophysis, once the Coelophysis kill one, we'll sedate all the Coelophysis and move them out. I would rather have these guys on the boat tour area than the Coelos. Stumble Guys, yeah, that's it. Stumble Guys had a Jurassic collab, I think. Which was just strange. Strange and untalked about, for the most part. And 2 females here that we can do once we have 8 more genetics. Which we could probably do with points. Nope, you're capped out. Oh, you're the one that's incubating anyway. It's these 2. If I put a point into him, that leaves me with a 9 logistics. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. That's fine. Let's get these going. All right, 9 logistics left. Do we have an expedition we want to run? I probably haven't researched any of the next animals to add. So let's take a look. So we could knock out Trike. where's Notosaur? Here. So Noto, Trike. We'll do Styrac third, because Styrac is the one I was still technically debating on including. It's going to be Styrac. It's pretty much guaranteed at this point, but just in case I do end up changing my mind, we'll delay that one slightly. All right, the view from the car as it approaches what will become the Ceratopsian paddock. Not much of a view, huh? As much as I like this, we've inadvertently kind of buried the entire paddock behind the wall. We're a little bit further away. What if we're on the passenger side? I mean, you can see the back fence in there. You can see down in there. It's not as good as I want, but we can't get the car any closer to the cliff without it, like, with it being a cliff.
This illustrious theropod is one of the world's most iconic dinosaurs, and among the largest land carnivores.
It would be better as like a recessed like sauropod enclosure, but that's not how that's going to work. So I think it's fine.
Prepared and vigilant means getting tasks done as efficiently as possible. I trust that's how you'll handle this objective.
I don't think I'm going to redo and make any changes to it. I'm happier with the exhibit visually than I am with, like, you know, how you see it from the car. So, I mean, the fence is, of course, further away than this one, but that's because of the slope. I could put, like, I think it's fine. We don't need to overthink this. All right, Storm, I guess. Even though the icon hasn't popped up, it's already doing damage, so that's cool. I hate that it's already hit the aviary here. Okay, you're close. Get over there first. That's your priority. Let's get these Psittacos airlifted over. How long do you think they'll start selling us DLC animals from 2 as new content? I think it'll happen in the next DLC. I truly believe the Dinokairos was going to be part of the Wetlands DLC and therefore be paid content. And so I expect us to see the next DLC animal that they revealed as part of a DLC pack. I believe it. Alright, I mean, the tropes seem like they stayed contained so far. Okay, it is dealt with. They are good. Did the Storm icon ever pop up? I wasn't paying attention. Like, this is just already over? I guess so. That's fine. Alright, moment of truth. That Coelophysis is coming in. Or the Psittacosaurus is coming in. Let's see what the Coelos do. Also, we're doing nothing right now. Everybody is back. Let's get a job running. Triceratops. We'll put the low-tier logistics on this, I guess. Let's do Anki and Noto for the Noto. On you. And then we can do another synth job once the Psittacos are clear.
The right scenery can have a profound effect on an animal's well-being. Let's see just how beneficial it can be to these animals.
Cohab discomfort's very high. Now, it does say that it dislikes carnivores, but I don't know if that includes technically scavengers. So this is why definitely why we're testing this. These are fruit and nut. So let's get a little bit of their food back here in the woods. They don't need much. Nanuxsaurus would probably be a little redundant with Utaranus, so I don't see that getting added. But I mean, it is technically possible. Anything they decide to add, like, there could always be some outliers. They are definitely panicking. The question becomes whether or not the panic itself is enough of a problem that I don't want to deal with the silos being in here alongside the Psittacosauruses. Let's just let it play out. Let's just see what happens. Realize they can sell less animals for more. I mean, that's true. There could be some internal, you know, research on that idea. Like, the Wetlands DLC might not have just been a favor to us to give us an animal as kind of a Christmas present. It might have been a test to see what the response was, to gauge the sales, and decide whether just selling 3 animals instead of 4 was enough. Like, it's definitely a possibility. Where are my Diplos actually at? Tis a mystery. I'm going to put one over here. We'll put one over here. Alright, synthing another batch of, say, maybe... I'm going to wait on doing more Psittacos. Let's get a quick round of Ornithomimus going. Yeah, that's kind of the thing I'm surprised about, is we aren't seeing more aquatics and pterosaurs added yet. Like, from an objective standpoint, that's probably what the roster needed the most. And they probably, if they weren't going to front load the DLC animals with, like, Chaos Theory animals, right, for a Chaos Theory DLC, logically they probably should have front loaded some pterosaurs and aquatics to expand the dismal rosters. But, like, lagoons and aviaries are borderline abandoned anyway, so I guess maybe they just have no interest in, like, pushing them in any way. I mean, maybe they deliberately don't want to draw attention to how mediocre lagoons and aviaries are, and maybe part of the strategy there is just not adding new animals to them until they kind of have to. Like, if they don't give us a pterosaur or aquatic from base game for, like, 6 months, then that's a bunch of time they can spend kind of ignoring the problem. Skittish, skittish, skittish. Maybe I keep running Diplodocus runs because they are, you know, slow to produce. Kind of doing them in slot 2 is maybe not the worst idea here. I never went back out for more trike, I guess. I need to zoom the map in. There's too many icons. There we go. Didn't we just have a storm? I swear that storm just happened. I guess probably not, but, you know. Alright, well, the tornado has spawned on the cliff, which is interesting. Insert the Willem Dafoe looking up meme, because we're gonna go... Ah! Okay, well, let's make sure we got maintenance on standby. Okay, the tornado is actually not going for the dinosaur paddock. Just going for the main park, so that's fine. Nobody cares about that. It is causing additional damage, though. Let's make sure the second maintenance team is going where I want them to go, which is that fence gap. Oh, this is actually a contained strip. This is just a buffer zone, so the Mahjongs are less likely to mix with the herbivores. Oh shit, the aviary's breached again. Okay, aviary first, please. Facility offline. My ass. The maintenance facility is just depowered. Well, let's get a backup generator, which is, we got a brick-walled one. Yeah, let's just check this here in the woods. So this is only powering our 3 vehicle buildings. All right. Smart park planning saves lives. True. Okay, get that. The other one's already queued up, and then we'll just send him, well, nowhere because he's full on tasks. And the tornado is heading in there. Now, I want to check on the cranky psittacosauruses. You're missing fruit, you're missing water. And it's the storm that is ultimately sinking you. I could sneak a tiny bit of water in here. Just to, hello? Did I not actually... No, the terrain adjusted, I think, but it never actually put down the water, which is comedy. Alright, we'll put this here at least temporarily, just so they're not gonna beat their heads against the fence and get burns and stuff. The Diplos seem to be already good, so the Diplos are not a concern. Hatchery check. Okay, there goes that fence. Where's my other maintenance team? They were supposed to go repair this. Where are they? Why are you over there? Okay, well, forget that. Where the hell was he coming from? Did he get, like, tossed by the tornado? Okay, I distinctly remember canceling that, but I guess not. Whatever. This is repaired, it looks like. Okay, yeah, and he's right there. Okay, pausing. Get this. You're right here. Why would you go in there, you little nerds? Okay, we just don't repair that gap yet? Because there's a bunch of ornithomimus standing in the way. Okay, but nobody actually escaped? Great. Yes, everything is contained. Alright. Yeah, I stream on Twitch and YouTube, both. Well, the rest of this can be handled as normal. Actually, the ornithomimus are leaving the little gap. Let's get in there and fix it. Alright, another batch.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Two more dippies. Fossil check. That is completed. Triceratops. Processing on you. And then I think we'll hold back to do a clutch of these trikes. Carnivores are... We're done with any new carnivore species. We still need more population. So that's the one thing that we need. Now we just gotta sit here and wait for this shit to get repaired. I suppose we can technically... Might as well open up the park. Like, it doesn't matter that a bunch of shit's unpowered. So this is interesting. The Coelophysis so far have not harmed us. Us being the Psittacosaurus. So even though they panic and they're not happy about it, like, it hasn't caused issues. So if we have like a small group of Coelophysis and a bunch of Psittacosaurus, it's probably fine. Okay, that's a Coelophysis fight for dominance in this pen, actually. I saw the fight. Like, as soon as I was talking, I was like, oh, now they're going to kill a Psittaco now that I've opened my mouth. But no, they're just beating each other up. Welcome to the stream, Dylan. You really want to play this game? It's just too easy on console. Yeah, it's the balance is insanely bad. It's far too easy. Yeah, and if you're on console, you can't patch it up with mods, so you're kind of SOL. They got to be aware, you would think, of like that issue. All right, Triceratops. Like, it's hard to believe they would miss it completely, but I mean, who really knows, I guess. Alright, I guess we'll crank these. Seems fine. We're looking for just 4 of these. For the full pop. We're switching the trikes and stegos around. The novel is 4 stegos and 8 trikes, but the stegos are the more social ones in the game, and the stegos have their own enclosure at the end of the tour in the novel, so it makes more sense to do 8 stegos and 4 trikes. So that's what I'm doing. Since we're doing adaptation of the novel, not doing a 1-to-1, it makes perfect sense to switch numbers around. Medical, are you... Oh, this is bracken poisoning. These are, yes, because we put in new ones. Now we need to adjust the environment. Okay, let's... Do I want to do a greater retooling of this enclosure? Because it's a little haphazard. Like, it would make more sense if we had more of the wetland around the river area. Okay, this is the one that produces some mangroves. I like the mangroves. So I'm going to do this. We're going to do wetland like this, all along the shoreline here. And then this is going to be... We need a lot of leaf. So we'll do leaf over here. And then some fruit. How are we doing on wetland? We're still above. I could leave this extra, like, watering hole alone, kind of. Probably not that bad. And then, like, this bog over here can kind of stay, too. Yeah. Cover demand is fine. In fact, like, having not be trees here, like, right around the strip where the cars go past kind of makes sense. Conceptually. Alright, so the ornithos are good. Hypsilophodon is super good. Universally across the board, yeah, the Hypsies don't give a shit. So all we gotta do is, like, make sure the ornithos are working out. Which is fine. We are at 24, so 33 is the goal for the ornithos. So we still want to have a few more. I may expand this paddock over further. We could even cut this down, this gap between these two pens, and get a little bit of more area recovered that way. I think I might do that. Yeah, and the Stegos and the Trikes did have swap roles in the original, our real-world adaptation of the novel. So it also kind of works as a reference to that. Good point. Absolutely true. I don't think intolerance is going to be a problem, so I think these are fine. Alright, so there's the Trikes. Dippies are on the way. We did the research for Notosaurus, so that is stuck at one dig site. Buried, yes, PA sandstone. Alright, we're going to get these Dippies going. Then we'll breed another clutch of dippies in the meantime, I think. All right. We have a malfunction in the substation, which has cut power to the end section of the park and opened the gates. It looks like we have an angry Coelophysis. Thankfully, maintenance is literally like right here at this moment. But this must be a sabotage. That's all I can figure. We did have... Oh, and the Coelophysis has escaped. We did have an event that I didn't include in the episode where we had to pick to sell an egg or not, and I decided not to sell the egg. Like, logistically, I should have sold the egg, but I decided conceptually I didn't gel with it. You got killed by, like, a 30-pound lizard. That's really sad.
Transportation complete. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a
Bro, he went in the tour! What the fuck? Get out of there!
transportation underway.
Alright, now we gotta sit and wait 1,000 hours for them to sedate him. Cool. I probably should do this, huh? At least to mitigate the threat a little bit. Alright, there he is. Yeah, why is this thing killing humans anyway? By its lonesome? Like, I do wish the animals had more personality in terms of, like, things like that. Like, I think if a velociraptor escapes, it mauling everything that stands in its way is perfectly reasonable. I think for other animals, they should only escape if they're, like, uncomfortable. Like, smart animals should use an opportunity to escape, and non-overly intelligent animals should not, if they are comfortable. Like, if an animal is butting a fence because it's uncomfortable, it going on a rampage when it escapes makes perfect sense. But if a fence goes down or breaks during a storm, the animal's immediately running for the gap. Never feels correct to me. Yeah, I'm sure a Coelophysis weighs, like, optimistically, like, 30 pounds. Like, you could probably kick it to death. Like, maybe it'll maul you a bit in the process. Like, you might not come out of that without getting some stitches, but you'll probably win. Right? Alright, let's do... This is cover and wetland. We could do some fun fog, cypress swamp stuff a little bit. Maybe not too much, because I don't want it to be... Yeah, actually, let's not do that. Let's keep the front line a little more open. We'll do some of this marsh to go along with the water here that's kind of pooling by the retaining wall. I don't mind the little mangroves there. I think that's good. And then we can put more trees along the back fence if we end up wanting it. We'll just thread some of this around here kind of randomly. Alright, and there's our 4 Triceratops. No males, no more trikes. They do not breed. We can get this park opened for business again. Alright. Good. Round 2 of Psittaco. We're going to put these ones more on the boat tour specifically, rather than in the woods where the other set is. Then while that's happening, we can rest you. Leaving us with 5 genetics to do a fossil load. Oh, look at all them shrimps! That's one big pile of shrimp, haha. Yep, 100%. Cool. Alright, now, there were like 16 Euoplocephalus or something in the park, despite them never actually showing up in the novel. They're literally only on the population chart. So we're going to put in a boatload of Nodosaurus, which may require the expansion of this, since Ankylosaurids do have like awful environmental scaling. So that'll be interesting to play with. We've never really done a large herd of any kind of like Ankylosaurid. We're going to do remote viewing galleries. We're going to try and put one in here to try and get visibility up on the herbivore enclosure. We got like a big gap here that doesn't do anything. That's the only part of the park that's really bad. We got a Psittaco that's separated from the herd. It's being moved. We got a new batch ready to go once we get the diplos done in a couple minutes. I kind of want to put this Psittaco in with like where the new group will be. I don't really want to leave it sedated because it's maybe a little too close to the silos. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to sedate it and leave it sit here till we get the other batch ready or just like move it. All right, let's check this remote. So if we start the remote station, we put it, say I could put it like literally on the fence. This would be like the way to get it the most distance. We can stretch it all the way over here. This is not bad. I think I'm just going to use the base dome. I'm not going to like try to find like a perfect JP one. Kind of like it being up here on the hill. We could put it like right on the crest. Like right up on this rocky platform. That's kind of where it needs to be. Yeah, I think this works. It's conceptually, it's like part of the aviary complex, right? Like we don't really, like we know there were tunnels in Jurassic Park in the novel. We know there were like, they talk about early in the novel that there's like remote cameras that they can use to look into, like watch the dinosaurs in the park. I don't think we ever see them actually do that, but it's like on the TV, like when the, you know, Grant and all them get to the park. So that all is kind of supported in a way. Let's do this. And then maybe I can do... Okay, well, let's kill this pylon real quick. I want to do this. Because I don't like connecting to the curve. It looks kind of weird. So if we do a little bit of this and a little bit of this, then it looks all right. And then at some point, we do want to put in like a restaurant here, so we still have this space. That will be the Le Gigante restaurant. So you know what? Honestly, that pylon was probably going to be in the way anyway. Perfectly fine. Okay, are these dippies done? These dippies are not done. All right, well, let's let that go. I did kind of forget that we sedated a Psittacosaurus over here. I did kind of forget about this. The incredible thing is it seems like the Coelophysis left his entire friends behind, ran all the way over here to commit a murder, and now he doesn't even know where his friends are. Not only that, his territory has separated somehow. You could see the path where he ran over, but then he like instant transmission to the bottom of the hill and just ganked it, and now he's mad because he doesn't know how to get back? Little friggin' nerd. I kind of expected it to happen, and honestly, good science. If you sedate a little herbivore over here, they absolutely will smell it and go beeline to go kill it, because they are bastards. So, a lesson has been learned. We're talking here a little bit on stream, while the recording was paused about, you know, difficulty settings in the game and stuff. One thing I'm interested in, and if anybody knows how to do this, if anybody knows where the lawyer fees live in, like, the internal files, and knows where to find a number that I can crank up to turn up the lawyer fees, I would love to know where that is. I have not been able to find anything yet, and this is, like, the one number in the game I really want to tune. Because I think if a few people in your park are killed, I think the lawyer fees should sink you. I think realistically, if you have a bad breakout and a bunch of animals escape and kill a bunch of people, that should be game over. Because right now, there are no game over conditions. It is essentially impossible to lose a run in this game. It was very difficult to properly lose in JWE2 after like the first hour, but in JWE3, you just like never can lose. And I think that would go a long ways towards making it a little bit more engaging on a management side. You would actually be encouraged to optimize your paddocks in a way to like discourage escapes as well. Higher tier fences would be more valuable. Like, I think this number right here could actually patch up a lot of the difficulty issues if you like really tune this number to be very aggressive. And I just don't know how to do it. And that's too bad. Bruh. Alright, well, there it is. Another tornado today. Okay, you're already on your way. It's probably fine. Probably fine. All right, let's check what we're doing here. Diplos are ready to go. We got to get these guys out. I want to get more Psittacos so the herd doesn't break up as much because it is kind of being a shit. Some accuracy mods do wonders for the roster there. For Dinosaur Sanctuary, spoilers, we might do a Dinosaur Sanctuary Park build at some point in the distant future. Yeah, that could be cool. Definitely, like, if we want to do any parks that are using accuracy mods or whatever, we'll be much better off doing that further in the future, because those kind of mods are only really starting to come out. All right, let's grab these guys. Like, unfortunately, we're still very early days as far as modding for this game goes, because the modding community hasn't really taken off. Which is there's probably a whole discussion to be had about why that is, too. Alright, so we got the Notosaurus, which let's do that first. Yeah, we'll do Noto in this slot after the Diplos are out. So I guess since we have to wait for them to get airlift, let's start research of Styracosaurus. My precious Styrac. Send you, and then yeah, I think we hold these two back on deck. Alright. Well, let's see what the tornado holds for us. Yeah, I have like looked at Dinosaur Sanctuary. I've seen the map and stuff. I've held the first volume in my hands. Like, I've actually flipped through it at a bookstore, so. Wait. You know what? Forget the viewing gallery. Everybody just get over here. Because you're gonna have to clean up after the other. You're at base. Okay, I think I saw the actual, like, the line telling you you're gonna queue this up, not that it was already in progress. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be a problem. Let's just go ahead and trank the 4 Majungasaurs. Like, this is already an issue. I saw the Diplo do a little loop-de-loop. That was pretty funny. Okay. So we got this double fence breach here. You are on station there. Where did the other ATV end up? Oh, you're right here. Okay, well, you should turn around and secure this. Okay, we don't need to sedate these. This fence is already secured. Cancel. Did we get this one? This one must be... Yeah, that one's down. Get back in there. Okay. Then we got this damage here, and looks like we got a gap in the front. Yes, which is already causing problems. Oh, did I never open the shelters? Did I get completely distracted again? Because the Twister was already on top of the aviary? I think so. I got completely distracted. My ATV, I need to keep you... You know what? Forget this gap. This doesn't matter. Get this. Hurry, 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 hurry. 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 Okay. Secure. This gap never got plugged, or that re-broke. What the fuck happened? I swear this got repaired. Alright, where is this vehicle? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. You're going back that way? Bro. Go now. My cars are blocking each other.
Please respond.
Oh my god, please. You're an ATV. You're a four-wheeler. Go. You could get through the gap. I'm telling you. Why is he just sitting there?
Please resume your normal.
Are you stuck on a tree? What are you fucking doing? Unreal.
En route to collect the asset.
Okay, now it actually did repair. Did he disappear? No, he went through the fence while it was repairing. Okay. Great. We have a tainted feeder. Somebody get on it, please. Okay, we are largely secure, although not undamaged. We can open back up for business. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize.
Yeah, a Jurassic Park prequel would be fun, but I cannot see it ever happening. I don't feel like I don't think the people in charge of the franchise feel like that would ever be a viable show. That's just the impression they give me based on their creative choices they make with the franchise. The closest we'll get will be like Jurassic Park Survival, which obviously is post-disaster. Like, I really wish we could see a proper, a proper look at, like, the full layout of the park from the movie and, like, the full species list. And unfortunately, the full species list has just never been firmly canonized, which is disappointing. All right, these Psittacos, you guys are going over here by the river on this side.
Heading to collect the asset. Task received.
Disease outbreak controlled. Great. I guess medical got in there and dealt with that after we got the feeder tainted. All right, we're good. I mean, we're at 70% repair, but, like, we're not gonna die. I don't actually know what our star rating is right now. I don't know if we ever hit 3 stars exactly. Would like to know that. Notosaurus eggs. 2 at a time is going to be slow going. Is what it is, though. Honestly... Fucking... You're depowered? Seriously? Fine. Honestly, we could probably benefit by doing multiple slots in the hatchery, because we have a lot of animals I'd like to produce still. We could be running this, like, all day, essentially. I can't even check this. Cool. Well, I guess we'll come back when everything's repaired. Nice big herd of sauropods is always fun. Too often we only have, like, 3 or 4 sauropods. It is nice to have, like, a pile. I do like that. Alright, well, theoretically, yes, okay, this stuff is back online. Alright, fossils, none. Expeditions for Styracosaurus. I assume this didn't get canceled, right? This actually did complete. Did this complete? It did. I just didn't happen to look for it enough. Is it just the one dig site? Am I stupid? I was really thinking it was 2. Was this changed? Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's fine. We'll put you on this task. Why don't we go ahead and get the final animal unlocked, which is Stegosaurus. And then let's pop on over to... Actually, let's pop into upgrades. Additional upgrade slots. I could have done this better, but it's only 2 minutes. Let's just do it. Styrac was removed from Dinosaur Park. Okay, I'm not crazy. Good. I was really wondering what the hell was going on there with my mind. I want to do another round of Sidicos first before we do Nodo. Or more Nodos, I mean. Yeah, it was with things like Coretho and Para. Yeah. That sounds right to me. Okay. Great. And these guys are all cool. I mean, these guys are all cool in part because the territories actually linked up somehow. There was like a little connecting path here, which is funny. Yeah, now they're not. It's funny that we saw that happen in real time. But their needs are pretty simple. A carcass. It is one of you. Dead or Nithmine. R.I.P. Alright, Sidicos. 6 more females. No available scientists. True and fair. Understandable. Carry on. Notosaurus. 1960s style Jurassic Park build. I don't know how viable that would be. That could be an interesting thing. Picking only like older animals in terms of discovery timelines. Could be cool. So the Notosaurs, I kind of tried to pick skins that remind me of the real colorization of Borealopelta. Kind of this like, ruddy red-orange. But then I mixed it up a little bit. I didn't want to have them all be exactly the same color. So, a little bit of a mix of different oranges, basically. 100k, sure. That is nothing. Nice if scavengers had a mechanical purpose in cleaning up your park. I agree. I think it would be cool to have, like, the poop mechanic from Prehistoric Kingdom, and then have scavengers actually clean up after the large herbivores, which was literally why they were in the park in the novel. Like, I think that would be fun. Okay, and Styrac will be done soon. So yeah, we can get Styrac out next episode, I guess. We can wrap this up just about here. We do this on you. We got Stego ready to go. Do I want to start Stegos? I think I'm going to hold off on the Stego. I'm not going to immediately get to work on that. We want... Wait, am I dumb? Yes, it's in enclosures. I can never think of where the upgrades for the hatchery are. Oh, we also need to get these nests going at some point. We are 3 stars, so 3 stars. Okay, so here's the problem, right? One thing I want to do is I want to separate these out to 3.5 and 4 stars. So I think we can do that because we can add nodes. But for our purposes here, we're going to do the first tier research. Unlock them all and just not use them until we hit the appropriate star rating. And then we want to do... Wait, accelerated and cheaper. Wait, what? Oh, we already have additional bays. We just need the extra slots. Okay, never mind, that's fine. So yeah, I don't need anything from here, actually. That's done. So then the question becomes 3 stars was going to be large amenities, large hotels, I think both at 3. So we'll get both of those. Let's do large amenities, then we can get our Le Gigante in. And yeah, we'll leave that there for today's episode and continue next time with Stego, Styrac, and trying to finish up the park.